Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Arnie Dia Show. Today's show, a review and discussion of The Northman, a film by Robert Eggers and starring Alexander Skarsgard. The Northman is the first film by Robert Eggers that I have ever seen. I have always thought of him as an auteur director that makes low-budget, character-driven dramas that have a whimsical feel to them, and that is no exception with The Northman. Now, before I begin my review of The Northman, I think it is important to state that The Northman is brutal. It is a dark, realistic dive into the world of Vikings. And it's important, I think, to state that, because I believe that the advertising for The Northman paints it as like a Viking mixed with Braveheart film. And in a lot of ways, it is that, but in many others, it really is not. This film is a dark, brutal tour de force of revenge. The Northman is about Amaleth, a young Viking prince who witnesses the death of his father by the hands of his brother Fjörnir. And as Amaleth runs away from his village as his uncle is taking over the kingdom, he repeats his mantra that becomes his war cry for the entire film. I will avenge you, father, I will save you, mother, and I will kill you, Fjörnir. And what begins is a tale of Viking revenge. The performances are top-notch. Alexander Skarsgard has apparently been trying to make a Viking film for over 10 years now, and he gets his chance to chew as much scenery as he can. He also put on almost 30 pounds of muscle weight to play this part, and he is excellent. Albeit not saying many lines, a lot of this movie is silent, but his performance is powerful. He takes on the role of a berserker Viking at the beginning of the film, and it is incredible where he can go with this character. Truly believable as a brutal Viking. And I don't think it's a stretch to say you don't really like him at first, because he is, of course, a brutal Viking. Anya Taylor-Joy plays a slave named Olga, who is also a sorceress. Her role is not as the damsel in distress, but a strong Viking slave that does everything she can to survive. And Anya Taylor-Joy delivers an incredible, sympathetic performance that is a very nice counter to Skarsgård's brutal performance. Their chemistry together is palpable. Also, which makes sense because the two are dating. Ethan Hawke plays Amaleth's father, a Viking king, and I don't think I've ever seen such a dour and stoic performance from Ethan Hawke. He really does imbue the outwardness of a king. And Nicole Kidman plays Amaleth's mother and delivers a strong performance that changes the outcome of the story and the film in a very surprising way. Robert Eggers' directing is incredible. Each frame of this movie is beautiful. The cinematography is dark yet whimsical, and which makes sense because Robert Eggers imbues this movie with brutal realism, but also introduces Viking lore in dreamlike sequences that are beautiful. The story and plot really combine together realism of the Viking world and the mythical tales of Norse mythology, and combines them together into a very satisfying, brutal journey. Now, the movie does drag at parts, but mostly the editing and the pace of the film keep you going and going, keep going. The pacing and the editing of the film keep going and rolling into an eventual climax that is as breathtaking as the rest of the film. Now, again, I know I've said it many times, but again, this film is brutal and dark. And if you're okay with that, you will be treated by one of the most beautiful films I've seen all year. I give The Northman a 5 out of 5. My first perfect score since I've begun reviewing movies again. This movie is incredible and it deserves to be seen on the biggest screen. Even the score is bolsterous and whimsical. This whole movie is just a beautiful dance between brutality and beauty. And I think it really does manage to do both really well. Thank you so much for watching. I am Arnie Diaz 89 on all social media platforms. Thank you for watching.